Hey friends, welcome back to Homeschool-ology. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. I will have an incoming high schooler and then 3 kiddos in middle school for a total of 4 homeschooling kiddos. We have been homeschooling. We're entering our 10th year of homeschooling, which is absolutely bonkers to me. But I like to share mostly secular homeschooling with you, but also things like motherhood and having a larger family and just our lives in general. So I hope you will stick around and chat with me. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing a save or splurge on materials that you're or resources that you need for homeschooling, and what you should spend your money on and what you can, save a little bit on by, not buying something high quality. So let's dive into that video. So I'm going to be completely honest here. I totally ripped this idea off from Ashley at Gathered and Grounded. I did message her and ask her if it was okay, and she said absolutely. And so I am going to credit her for the idea for this video, but I thought it was a really fun idea, and I wanted to jump in here and share with you as well the things that I think are worth spending money on. So I will link her video where she chatted about that down below, and let's dive into my picks. So number 1 is a printer. So you can kind of see mine in the corner there. I'm gonna put up a picture for you guys. So I cannot stress enough that this, if any of the things that you listen to on this list, this is the one that you should listen to. It has been the biggest money saver for me overall, by far, for my homeschool, and it's that refillable ink printer. So I like Epson's. It's been a great printer. We've had it for I think close to 4 years now. I think I've had to refill it. I just put in the second half of the 3rd batch of bottles that I've bought to refill, and I've had it almost 4 years. So it came with 1, and then I bought 2 more that I've refilled it with, and I print a ton. I print all the time. I buy PDF curriculum and print it at home, and self-bind it, which I'll talk about later. But I cannot say enough how much that has saved me, because it's only $50 for the bundle to refill it, and I've only refilled it, done that technically twice, because the first set came with the printer. So I've really only spent $100 on ink in the past 4 years. So that's pretty amazing. It prints great. I've never had, every once in a while I get it kind of streaky, but you just clean it and it's good to go. And that's a super simple process. It's self-cleaning. I just hit a button. So I cannot recommend it enough. I know Canon has one now. I don't have any experience with one. If this one ever does crap out on me, I might try the Canon, because I wasn't thrilled with my customer service experience with them. But then again, it's been going strong for a super long time. You can now get them at Costco and at Sam's Club. So they're, the cost is even cheaper than what I paid for it when I originally bought it. We have the 2760 model. They no longer make that model, but anything with that starts with 2000 will give you something similar to what I have here. And Again, I've spent a ton of time here talking about how great it is and how much I love it and how much it's been worth it. So that is definitely one that I highly recommend for saving or splurging on. You splurge on that in order to save on all of your other things. Next up is curriculum. And this one is going to maybe surprise you, because I'm going to say save here. Now, I'm not saying buy non-quality curriculum. You still want to buy quality curriculum, but you can save on quality curriculum by doing things like buying PDF versions. That's what I do. I buy the PDF, and then I can either print them off here if I need to, or use them on a tablet or use it on the computer. I can reprint it again and again for my future students. So I have 4 kids. That's a lot of curriculum. If I'm buying a PDF, I can reuse it rather than having to buy another workbook every time. Also, you can buy curriculum used. I don't typically do that very often, just because I'd rather have a PDF version, but Facebook Marketplace is a great place to look for those kinds of things, and then just kind of online. But buying it used can save you a ton, you know, especially like buying the teacher manual used, and then you can get a new workbook, and you're going to save a ton of money that way. So find ways to save with curriculum. Still buy quality curriculum, but just find ways to save. It's pretty easy to do. Next up is a binding machine. So mine is out, it's over there, but it's heavier than sin, so I'm not gonna hold it up for you guys. I'll put a picture here. The one I have has like the spiral binder electronic thing on top. I never use that. I could never get it to work. So if you can find one that doesn't have that, then I suggest getting that one. I don't think there's much of a cost difference though, so whether you have it or not. I just don't ever plug mine in and use that part. And so it has been so, I mean, let me just show you. This is not even all the curriculum that I have for all 4 of my kiddos plus my niece, so 5 kiddos. This isn't even all of it that I'm not done printing, and this is how much I've saved. Each one of these would have cost me $5 had I taken it to Office Depot or FedEx is what I used to do, was take it to those places, and they would cost me $5 a piece. So right here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 bucks. So the machine is, I think I got mine for like 150. I'll link some down, the one that I have down below. I don't know what it costs now, but I mean, that, I think mine was like 150. So really, printing curriculum over 2 years, I've already saved, earned back the money for my binding machine. And I've used it way more than just for curriculum. We have a co-op. We did a class where like they were developing like their own worlds for like storytelling, and we bound all of that together. So I bound like, I think 15 books there. I bind for my friends to help them save. So I use it all the time. So it is gonna, you know, give you back money savings in the long run. Buy the good one. I was kind of hesitant and between getting the actual like binding machine or the ProClick. I thought the ProClick was really cool that you could open it back up, but a lot of the reviews that I saw, most people are like, I wish I would have gotten the actual binding machine. So I'm glad that I made the choice that I did, and went with the one that was slightly more expensive, because let's be honest, that ProClick, that's basically a hole punch, costs a crap ton of money. But anyways, what's up, Peanut? So that is a splurge item that I'm so happy that I have on hand in my homeschool room. Along that same lines is a laminator. So splurge on the laminator. Yes, you can take your stuff to get laminated, and if you have big projects, you can do that. Take it, get it laminated. I use mine all the time for little bitty things at home, and I'm so glad that I have it, and it's actually not that expensive. So go ahead, splurge, buy yourself a laminator. The sheets can get a little expensive, but if you buy in bulk, then you're gonna save there too, and trust me, you'll use them. Another in the splurge category, and this one is paper. So I am a paper snob, but we do a lot of binding and of curriculum, and 20 weight paper just doesn't hold up as well to those angry erasing attacks, or, you know, lots of flipping and turning, or just, they just don't hold up that well. And when you print double-sided, a lot of times you can see through to the other side. The 24 weight, you can still kind of see through, but it's way less visible, and it feels better. It's better quality. It's worth it. It's only a few more dollars to get the 24 pound instead of the 20 pound. And so just do it. Trust me on this. Now, I'm not saying don't buy the 20, because I do. I buy that, and that's what my kids use for, you know, crafting and drawing and all those things. But for your curriculum binding, or your, like, you know, nice things that you want to keep, I highly recommend going with that 24 weight paper. Next up, manipulatives, and this one is a save. So there are tons of these beautiful little math curriculum kits and science kits out there, or math, not curriculum, but manipulative kits and science manipulatives and all these other, manipulatives out there that you can buy this set for a super amount of money. Don't do it. Don't waste your money on it. There are plenty of things around your house that you can use as manipulatives for a math. Like, instead of buying 100 little plastic counters, just use pennies. I know you got them lying around. Instead of buying the little counting bears, just use little, animals or little toys that you have. You've got them lying around. You don't need all of that. Now, I'm not saying I don't have counting bears. I do, and we use them, and we love them. But we've also used, she has these little My Little Ponies. We've also used those. My daughter learned her colors from the Princess Clip dolls. There were these old dolls that you would clip. They were Disney. You would pinch the dress and put the doll in, and it had all these different color dresses. And so there are things around your house that you can use. There are cheap things that you can get from the dollar store bin. One year in the Target dollar store, there were these cute little plastic animals, and we bought those and used those. So you don't need to buy one of those really expensive math manipulative kits. A few things you might need to pick up, you might want to get a clock to teach time. Of course, you can just use a real clock though. And there you might want to pick up a few things that would be useful. We have a poppet that has the multiplication table on it. That's been really useful. So having a few things might be nice, but you don't need that whole kit. You just don't. So save your money and use what you got lying around. Similar vein, for science lab equipment, you don't need that either, guys. Pretty much everything you have in your kitchen is going to be sufficient. You don't need a graduated cylinder. You can use a measuring cup. You don't need, beakers. Use a measuring cup. You don't need all that fancy stuff for doing lab experiments at home. Little plastic cups that you can throw away is, little clear plastic cups is totally fine. You don't need to invest in all these, glass containers and things like that. Check your safety, because there are some things you need to put glass in, but for the most part, there's not a lot that you need to purchase. You don't have to buy one of those science equipments. The kits. The only exception here is that you do want to buy a quality microscope, okay? Take all the money you would have spent on that stuff. You don't need a scale. A kitchen scale is just fine. You don't need any of that stuff. Buy a really nice, easy to use microscope, okay? That's what you want to invest your money in, because that is something that you will use over and over and over again. And the simpler it is to use, the easier it is to get comfortable with, the more you're going to use it, and the more that your kids are going to be excited about looking at things underneath that microscope. So spend your money. Don't buy all the lab equipment. You don't need the graduated cylinders. You don't need the beakers. You don't need the fancy thermometers. You don't need any of that. But buy yourself a good microscope. Next up is books. And so I've divided this into two categories here. And the first one is reference books, and the other one is all other books. And so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to divide them up here. So the first one is reference books. And as you can see, you only see part of this cabinet, but it is full of reference books. Spend your money, buy you some reference books. I cannot tell you how many times I've caught a kid of mine with a reference book on the couch, chilling out, just reading a reference book, okay? They are wonderful to have on hand. They are a valuable piece of education. We use a lot of literature-based curriculum that uses resource books to teach things. Your kids are going to be able, it teaches the surface, and then if they want to know more, they can dig deeper online or going to the library, getting specific books, things like that. But having those resource books on hand, do it. Spend the money, splurge, do it. Now, when it comes to other books, chapter books that you're going to read, read alouds and little picture books that you're going to use for a lesson and those kinds of things, this is where you're going to save. Your public library is your very best friend. Any homeschooler's very best friend, okay? Use them. Most public libraries have a hold system where you can go online, type in the name of the book you want, put it on hold, and then they'll tell you, hey, it's ready to come pick up, and you go pick it up. It's that simple. It's that easy. You're usually not going to use these books for longer than, you know, like 6 weeks. Our library, I think, is 6 weeks, and then you get a renewal, so it's like 12 weeks that you get the book, as long as there's not a hold on it. And so you don't need to buy every book that you're going to use for curriculum. If you do want to buy it, if it's something that you're going to use for longer than your period of checkout time from the library, use things like thrift books. They offer teacher discounts, or like the homeschoolers. So homeschoolers can use the teacher discount at thrift books. Then you can sell your books back, your thrift books, back to thrift books. So this is a wonderful resource to use to save a ton of money, especially if you like literature-based curriculum. Next up, notebooks. Okay, now I'm a little bit of a hypocrite on this one because I love me a School Nest notebook and I think they're wonderful. And if you think you're going to use it all, invest. They're wonderful. But we never ever used a whole one, and they're a lot of money, and they're not spiral bound, and your kids waste them. And so notebooks in general. So I highly recommend skipping those fancy notebooks and just buying some cheapos. Don't buy too cheap. I don't recommend the ones from the Dollar Tree. The paper is garbage, okay? It's so thin, it tears so easy. Don't buy those. But after back to school at Target or like office supply stores, I've bought notebooks. I'm not kidding. I've bought notebooks for literally 10 cents a piece. Literally, okay? Because they just want them gone after that back to school time. And so watch those stores at the end and just buy yourself a whole bunch of notebooks 1 year, and then you can use them again for multiple years. I would buy them for my co-op, and then, you know, like I'd buy 40 of them, and that's $4, guys. And I would use them to give out to my students because I like doing interactive notebooking. I have a video here I'll share, and I have another one coming up soon. So that, save your money, buy the cheap notebooks, let your kids, you know, glue a piece of paper to the front of it and let your kids decorate it and make it look cute. They're going to be a lot more invested in it than just buying this, you know, the super cute picture ones from back to school time. So save your money on notebooks. Next up is a pencil sharpener, and you can't see it, it's on the other side of my printer, but I bit the bullet 1 year on Amazon Prime deals and bought myself a nice electric pencil sharpener. So glad I did, guys. Okay, we were using like a cheapo one that I got from Target that I thought was nice because you could carry it around, but they break the pencils really easily. They never really get a nice, good sharpened point. The electric one, y'all, is beautiful. It's chef's kiss. It works every time. It gives you a nice, beautiful point, doesn't waste the pencil, and it's quick and easy, and it's easy to clean, and it's just been absolutely 100% worth it. Yes, the kid has to get up and sharpen their pencil, but that's not that big of a deal, okay? So definitely this is a splurge item. All right, and my last section here is office supplies. So I'm gonna give you kind of a list of office supplies and say whether to splurge or save, and then I'll tell you on the splurge ones what brands I recommend. So I'm gonna kind of do these ones, you know, quick fire because this video is probably getting a little long here. So let's start with pens. I highly recommend Friction pens. They're erasable, they're wonderful quality, they last a good long time. You can buy the refills on Amazon, and so that's what I do. Like my kids' favorite colors, I just buy the refills on Amazon. They're wonderful. I highly recommend spending a little bit of extra money and buying these. Pencils, these are another splurge, okay? I highly recommend Ticonderoga for number 2 pencils because they really are superior quality. And for mechanical pencils, I highly recommend these. They're from Papermate. They are clear point. Papermate clear points. The eraser twists up, so like it's a really long eraser in there, and it twists up as they use it, and then it's, you know, like the lead is really good. Like I like, and they use this here to click out the lead. I highly recommend these. These are wonderful. I've bought a ton of them, and they just kind of float around, and we find them and collect them, and I have a whole bunch, and then I have none, and then I have a whole bunch, and then I have none. So highly recommend these mechanical pencils for kiddos who like that. Next up is markers, and this one is again a splurge, okay? Buy Crayola, guys. Just do it. Buy Crayola. They're gonna last longer. They're gonna give you better quality output. Buy the expensive markers. Don't buy the cheapo Rose Art. It's not worth it. They don't last. It's not going to save you in the long run because you're going to be replacing them more often. My Crayola markers last at least 2 years usually. And if you get them at that back to school, after back to school time, you can normally get a good discount on those as well. All right, let's talk dry erase and wet erase markers. You want the Expo brand. Trust me on this. The only other brand that I've had good luck with has been the Target brand. I'll put it here. But most of the time you want Expo. They dry out a lot less quickly. They work really well. They erase really well. They just are superior. And you're gonna want dry and wet. I use wet probably more often than I use dry around here. So make sure you are investing in those. That is a splurge. Glue, also a splurge. I highly recommend the Elmer's purple that turns white, especially if you're working with younger kiddos or older kiddos. They kind of need that. It sticks better. The low quality stuff, your things are gonna fall off. Everything they glue, it's just gonna fall right back off very quickly. Invest. You can buy these in bulk or in that after school, after the back to school time, and get better deals on these. They last forever. So I buy them, me and my friend, we buy them in like the big bulk boxes, and they last us like 2 years. Okay, so buy in bulk or buy at that after back to school time when they're on sale. Just buy yourself some Elmer's. Okay, tape is going to be a save. Okay, you don't have to buy the fancy tape. You just don't. Okay, your kids are gonna waste it. Maybe buy some good tape for you to keep in mama's hidden stash, okay? But you don't need good tape for your kiddos. If you're buying washi tape, buy the cheap stuff off of Amazon. If you're buying Scotch tape, buy the cheap stuff at the dollar store. If you're buying what's the one, masking tape, buy the cheap stuff, guys. Buy the cheap stuff. They're gonna go through so much tape. Buy the cheap stuff. Same thing with sticky notes, okay? Guys, Post-it, while I love them and they're an excellent brand, they are stupid expensive, okay? Buy the cheap ones. Your kids are gonna waste them. Scissors, okay? Let's talk scissors, guys. Wow, I absolutely love this Scotch brand titanium ones that I got at Costco, so they weren't that expensive. They're wonderful. My scissors are always gone. I can never find them. It's a miracle that I know where these ones are right now, okay? They're always gone. So buy yourself a good pair or two that are distinctive, okay? So like these pink ones, Mom's. And I have another one that is like polka dot and pink, Mom's, okay? I don't even like pink, but it's just a different one, different color. But then buy just a buttload of super cheap scissors and keep those ones as your kid scissors and let them have access to them because they will be gone all of the time. You're gonna have to buy them all of the time. It doesn't matter, they're always gone, okay? So buy mom a couple of nice pair, keep them stashed away where your kids can't get to them, but buy the cheap crap ones for your kiddos. This is where you can save a ton because you're gonna have to rebuy them a bunch anyways. This is another great thing to get after that back to school time. The little kids scissors, the Target ones are actually pretty good quality, like whatever their Target brand is. I've bought those before and they last the longest that I've had, and I got them for like $1 a pair. So yeah. Binders. Binders is my last one for this category. I'm talking 3-ring binders here. Buy Avery, okay? Splurge. The best prices I found is actually at Target usually. Sometimes you can find a good deal on Amazon. Do not buy your binders at like Office Depot. They are stupid expensive and crap, okay? Everyone I've bought from Office Depot has fallen apart and cost me way too much money. So buy them. Watch those after the back to school time sales. Sometimes you can get really good deals on them there. But you're going to want Avery. They hold up so much better. I have binders that I've been using from Avery for a very long time and they are not falling apart, unlike my binders from Office Depot that are falling apart, okay? So highly, highly recommend. buying or splurging on the binders. All right, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you found this list helpful. Do you agree or disagree on any of these? I'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinions. Do you have something that I didn't include here that you think is important to splurge on, or is somewhere where you can save some money? Share all of that down below. And while you're down there, I hope you would subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget, you can always chat with me over on Instagram at Homeschool-ology, or follow us over there. I hope you'll come back and chat with me again soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.